What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan 2000 here, the beard of wisdom of the online Jamily, with yet another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. For the initiated of the series here on my channel, this has been my periodic discussion series looking at the past, present, future of over 30 years of Jamiroquai. And this episode of JamiroFan Talks About, JamiroFan Talks About, is going to be discussing the recent news that not since Rock the Slice Star has Jamiroquai been able to venture out in a multi-tour leg tour for the beginning of a new album era. Now, like I said, Rock the Slice Star was the last time Jamiroquai did at least 1 year of that album era by doing 3 separate tour legs in the same year, which, like I said, it looks like 2026 is going to be shaping up. Given the recent announcement of Jamiroquai co-headlining the Summer Sonic 25th Anniversary Festival out in Tokyo and Osaka in the country of Japan in the middle of August 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2026, and I'm still waiting for confirmation on if they might be doing 2 tour dates at that music festival, which is most likely, given that the verbiage on Jamiroquai HQ official social media when confirming Summer Sonic with Jamiroquai's inclusion as a co-headliner did indicate that they would be playing both Tokyo and Osaka, because Summer Sonic is being split by 2 cities in Japan. So this episode of JamiroFan Talks About is going to be pondering, could Jamiroquai slip in a U.S. tour leg? Now, I've had one of the hottest topics of discussion in the online Jamily as of the last few months, given that Jamiroquai is going to be going on 3 potential tour legs this year, of course starting in June and July, with them playing the European Summer Festival Tour around Europe. Then, of course, coming up in the month of August, the newly announced Jamiroquai doing a tour leg over in Japan at Summer Sonic's 25th Anniversary Festival in Osaka and aforementionedly Tokyo. And, of course, Jamiroquai potentially adding on to a South American, Latin American tour coming up in the month of September of 2026. Now, I've had many members of the Jamily reach out to me and ask me, JamiroFan, when could Jamiroquai come to the United States? Now, Jamiroquai management and many bands around the world, especially in pop bands, usually customarily announce tour dates for an extended tour leg or any tour leg, usually 6 to 8 months in advance of the actual transpiration date. Okay, so the only window, Jamiroquai could have played maybe the mid to late spring of 2026, but alas, they didn't make any announcement about the United States. And given the geopolitical situation in America right now, there's a lot of foreign bands that are not going to be touring here, or if they do come here, they're going to come here for a very sparing short tour. And I'm not saying Jamiroquai might do a very short tour of less than 1 to 3 tour dates here in the United States, but you gotta think realistically. With the high cost of the way the world economy is right now, and a lot of red tape that a lot of foreign bands would have to do in countries like the United States, coming here on tour is not that amount of immediacy, especially at the beginning of a new album era like Jamiroquai has with their 9th album that will be coming out the mid to late spring of 2026. But upon my speculation, I think Jamiroquai could come to the United States maybe after the Latin and South American tour. Now let me use Automaton's album era between 2017 to 2020 as an example. Jamiroquai did not come to the United States on a U.S. tour leg until a year after the first year of Automaton, once the album released in late March of 2017. So and they're kind of following this pattern with this booking for this 9th album tour, which we still don't know the name of the album, but I still speculatively think it's Disco Stays the Same, but I could be wrong. We'll find out in due time. But anyway, I digress. I think the window for Jamiroquai coming to the United States, at least in the calendar of 2026, if they make the extra effort to possibly squeeze in, that's right, a 4th tour leg here in the United States, and I have a feeling it's going to be very, very limited. I think they're going to probably do Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, and some other random city maybe on the East Coast, but that's just from my speculation. But I think the window for Jamiroquai coming to the United States, if they try to squeeze in a U.S. tour leg for this 9th album era in 2026, could potentially be between October to November of 2026. If that comes at the tail end of Jamiroquai potentially doing, let's say, between 1 to 4 Latin to South American tour dates, and that would be in countries like, let's say, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Brazil. So those are, or maybe Peru. So we'll find out in due time if they decide to add more tour dates, but I do think they're not just going to do Brazil. But if they do come to the United States, I think it's going to be between the months of potentially October to November of 2026, and that's my special speculation. I'm sure the band's management will be forthcoming very, very soon with more tour information coming pertaining to the latter part of this year for, of course, the late summer into fall of 2026, and I'm sure that information will be forthcoming as quickly as the Summer Sonic confirmation was was just a few weeks ago. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. If I get any more information about more further tour dates, please be aware that I will be putting up on my social media, of course, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. So keep your eyes out for further announcements of further tour dates to be confirmed for this very busy first year of the 9th album era for Jamiroquai on a worldwide tour. And as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Thank you again for watching this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and ding the bell on your YouTube. Stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel as we venture into February of 2026. And I'm sure we're going to be in for some major exciting times and possibly some major news coming about Jamiroquai Album 9 very soon. And I will do with due diligence to bring you that news as it happens. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. And I'll see you again really soon with more Jamiroquai related content here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you around.